Happy Friday. All right, let's hear some wins and anything you put into play from last week's meeting. Got lots of things going on here. All right, China, let's hear some wins and anything you put into play from last week's meeting.
My win from last week is last week I negotiated like all week on a property and we finally came to terms on it and it's firm now.
Oh, awesome. Anything you put in play from last week's meeting?
Calm, like downtime in the morning to start my day off right.
Good. Is it helpful?
Yes.
Perfect. Oh, Angie's coming in. Nicole wins for the week.
Well, I finished boot camp, so I've been trying to do more of the videos and Loom videos and all that kind of thing. So I got that done. And yeah, I haven't really been able to do like downtime. It's been a busy week, but I will work on that for next week.
Okay. Good stuff. All right, Kiki, wins of the week and anything you put in play?
Yeah, that young couple that bought the new build in Corona, for a closing gift, I gave them Angela from Tailored Rooms. So she's worked with them for an hour so far, and she's going to do another hour once they purchase the new furniture for the new house and all the new things. So they were thrilled with that.
What a great one. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything you put in play from last week?
I took away the rolling over and looking at the phone first thing. So I've stopped doing that. I still use the phone for the alarm, but I just turn the alarm off. I don't actually engage with the phone.
Good stuff.
So yeah, it's amazing what that small little step can just start your day more like I'm in control of the day instead of, oh, look at all these emails I missed that came in at 9 p.m. or whatever.
Yeah. That gives you anxiety instantly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big change. All right. Gary, some wins of the week and anything you put in play?
Wins for the week. I had a lady that I've known for 5 years. She lives down in Cabo. She's from Calgary. Reach out to me. She takes care of some seniors down there, and one of her clients now wishes to purchase after renting for the past 4 years. So I was given a budget of up to $750,000 US. And then she turned around and said, and I'm sick of renting too, so I need you to find me a place as well.
Awesome.
So basically got $1 million US to play with to find 2 properties.
That's
so that was
amazing. Good. Congrats. Yay, that's a big win. And you've been to the gym 4 days this week.
Yes. I've been a good boy. And takeaway from last week, I wasn't on last week's meeting, so I'm not sure. Sorry.
It was about staying calm and focused and avoiding our distractions, but taking time for you, which obviously you're going to the gym and doing so.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Awesome. Working on my mental health as well.
Good. We always love working on mental health. I got a lot of responses from my mental health post last night, actually. Okay. Jenny, you there? Wins from the week? Which might not be fully on yet. Angie, you want to go? Turn your face on and... There we go.
Okay, so other than selling my unit 43, which was awesome, because he got what he wanted, which is a bonus.
So good.
That's about it.
Perfect. And what did you take away from last week to put in play?
What's that? Sorry.
What did you put into play from last week's meeting?
Gosh, I don't remember.
Staying calm, less distractions.
Oh, that's right. Focus. That's right. That's what it was. Focus. I am actually doing better with focus.
Okay,
I even got focused enough to do the cold calling,
good,
which I'm going to do again today if I can stay focused.
good, good, good. Perfect. All right. Jenny, wins of the week?
Wins of the week is surviving as a mom of a
Good.
toddler with scarlet fever.
Oh no.
My daughter has my daughter has scarlet fever and strep and a busted eardrum.
Geez.
So here she is. Well, you can't see her. She's right there.
My, so sorry.
So it's okay. She's doing well. We're on amoxicillin, but for work, I got my clients. We went and saw a house that was listed like within an hour. They had previously been looking at a house, and the listing agent called us to cancel because they got an accepted offer right away. And basically, hold on, I'm putting my phone down. There's a cop there. So basically, hello, Mr. Policeman. Goodbye. Okay. We went and saw a house. It got listed within the hour. I said, let's go see it. It's top of the budget, but we can always offer under. Like, that's fine. And they really wanted to see another one, but the other house sold 20,000 over asking, and we got a firm deal, $5,000 under asking. So, same house, same list price, and we were the first ones. So that's a win.
Perfect. Good stuff. And anything you put in play from last week's meeting?
I don't think I came to last week's meeting. I think I was not focused and I did not come to the meeting. So,
well, you watched it after. That's what it was.
Yes, I did watch it after. Focus for me. So I actually I started using motion.
Yep.
Which has actually really helped me because, like, how many times are we driving and we're like, oh my God, I have to do this, or oh my God, I have to do this. So then I'll just say, like, hey Siri, like, add this task to motion. And then when I pull it up on my computer, I get to see every single task. And then I can just go through the list and check it off. So it's actually really helped me.
So good.
Yeah, it's been great. And I love that, like, it's AI generated. So if I don't get to any of my tasks, it will just move it to my calendar to like the next day if I have a spot.
Yeah.
Which is great.
For those of you that don't know, Motion is that new app that's out there that can actually plug into your calendar of what makes the most sense of when to do it. It's a great opportunity. Yeah. So, all right, Panos, I know you weren't on last week's meeting, but let's hear some wins. Joining the team, obviously.
That's what I was. Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. My win is joining Platinum Properties, and hopefully we're gonna get some business done.
Yeah, it's got a listing appointment this afternoon. Gonna start kicking ass already. Cool. Okay. Anything specific anyone needs help with this week? Nothing? All right. Well, we will dive in. Let me see my document here. Sure. I took the timeline off when I made this, so you guys can't make fun of me. Okay. Sure. Okay, so I know a lot of you are already learning this with Mia, if you're part of our team. So what to say and when to say at the Realtor's Guide to Effective Communication. For those of you that are in that course, of course, there is a book that goes along with this. And if you don't have that book, definitely suggest getting it for realtors. Really helpful in that sense. Clear communication is crucial in real estate. And again, this goes along with last week, staying focused. When you're at a listing appointment, you're staying focused on your client. When you're at a buyer's presentation, even you're staying focused on the client. What, Angie, all right?
Can't hear anything. Keep getting an echo. That's all I'm hearing. I'm hearing an echo.
Go into the back room.
Yeah, you can take yours into the back room. That might make a difference. So Sorry, there's a few of us in the same group here. Anyways, personalized communication also helps improve your lead conversion by 35%. Effective communication increases client retention by 40%. So we are professionals. People are looking to us to be a professional, but also connecting with people is huge as well. You're never going to go to a listing presentation and take a phone call, right? You're never going to go with a buyer showing and answer a text message, right? You're 100% involved with the client you're working with. That would obviously be seen as rude. I would think you guys would know that. But at the end of the day, some people do that, right? Like they're not giving full attention to their client, and then their client's just seen as a number. So we want to make sure we create that relationship with people. So, communication fundamentals for real estate. Really asking about the client's journey. So for example, yesterday I was at a listing presentation and I didn't bring out any of my presentation or anything. I sat down with the client and I just said, okay, tell me what's going on. What's going on in your life that I can benefit you, and what do you need help with, right? So the minute I do that, it's calming someone down. It's not putting them on the spot of, here's my presentation, here's what I do, here's how we're going to sell this house. It's, no, tell me where you are in life so I can build a relationship with you and adapt to what you need. So this client was selling his mother's home. It's the smallest home in actually the entire subdivision. So of course the price points are going to be way off in consideration. Plus they've removed the bathtub. Plus it's only a 2-bedroom. So some downfalls to the property. Beautiful area for sure. So really having that conversation up front. Okay, here's the situation, he's saying. Mom's gone. Mom's out of the house. I'm dealing with the house. I'm interviewing multiple agents. That's great. That's what we're here to do. Here's some questions we suggest. So really bringing in that conversation of how can I help you, as opposed to this is what I'm going to do. At the end of the day, people want to know what's in it for them. So if we take a step back and put ourselves in people's shoes and really build that relationship, it's going to be much more relatable, but still professional and personable, right? Timing. Keeping clients informed of what's going on is always key too, right? But the relationship building is always going to be your number one key. So again, yesterday's presentation, we broke down what's going on in the background before I presented what we are going to do as a team to actually sell the property. The necessities that we feel that need to happen. I think the home needs to be staged. I think that's important. I am not the agent that's just going to put a sign in the air and have you sign paperwork today. I want to make a strategic game plan that's going to benefit you. And we're well aware mom needs now to live off this money that we're selling the property for. So we've built that communication of this is the goal, this is the journey, and how are we going to get there, right? And then I'm diving into what I do as a realtor. But I'm also asking the questions, what are you looking for in a realtor? Right? If you ask someone what they're looking for, you can adapt the conversation and adapt your listing presentation to what they're looking for. In just a few moments, I realized this guy was a C. He came from finance. He cared about the numbers. He cared about the bottom line. So when he told me he wanted almost 100 grand more for the property than what it's worth, I just said, well, unfortunately, I won't be able to sell it for that. So I'm not going to lie to you. I want to be upfront with you. And then he gave me well, I can sit on it for as long as we need. That's fantastic. But do you want to sit on it forever? Because at the end of the day, if we list a property that's way too high, you get no showings, and we're sitting. People are just going to assume something's wrong with the property, right? And then we got into the conversation of self-representation, how they can save on the commission, and if we don't offer buyer's commission. And I said, well, I will be honest with you on that side of things too. If we don't offer buyer's commission, you're going to probably regret that, and you're going to have a lot less showings. As much as I can't say that on the record, because yes, we are still supposed to show the property, but if a buyer is under contract to an agent to pay them 2.5%, and they don't have that extra money to do so, they're not going to be able to purchase your property. So we really need to have those conversations and how we're adapting that communication. Okay. So again, initial consultation, let them tell you about themselves, what's going on in the background. So they can calm down. They're not feeling uptight. They know that you're here for them. Okay. Diving into how it's going to go, use language that makes sense to clients and be clear and confident in what you're saying. Perfect timing, strategic timing, right? We all know spring market is the best time to sell. When someone tells me they want to renovate a house and then we're going to list in August, we all know August is slower. That's not the best time to sell, depending on the area, depending on the price point, how that's going to look. And then what is the game plan for them? Are we creating a game plan? We're not just throwing a sign in the lawn and putting it on MLS. What is the strategic plan? So for us, with this specific property, we need to have it staged. So I need a week out to do that. Then we need 3 days for the coming soon to get the videos, the marketing, everything prepared. Then after the coming soon, then we're putting it to MLS once we have all that marketing back. We are still doing mail outs. We're still doing touch base. We're still emailing to our clients ahead of time, our VIP client list. And then after we have it in there, when are we negotiating offers? As they come. I always let people know I cannot promise you multiple offers in this day and age right now of what's going on in the market. So I don't want you to think you're getting full price or multiple offers. So are you comfortable with the listing price as per negotiating that it's going to be under that price? Right? Again, you're being professional but relatable and being honest with them. I'm never going to lie to someone because first person they're going to blame is us. Client initial interactions, skip the jargon. People don't understand our contracts unless they come from that kind of background. So use plain language. Get to know your contracts that you can explain each paragraph with a one-liner, right? Dumb it down for them. Absolutely. But you also need to be explaining everything they're signing. We're not just sending it over. If you're there in person, you're explaining each paragraph. If you are emailing it to them, you're getting on the phone and going through it with them. Angie, come back to me. Come back to me, Angie. Right? So make sure that they understand what they're signing. If they ever argue that they don't understand, you may lose the opportunity to get your commission out of it, right? So you need to make sure everyone is aware that they understand what they're signing. Discovering their lifestyle is key. That's building beyond what our relationship is and really getting to know them, making notes of them. This is great for closing gifts or future, relationship building with these people, hobbies, work, family needs. It's a great opportunity if you're doing closing gift baskets to throw things that they love in there. Or just getting to know them. If you're trying to make a cheerleader out of them later on for someone that's going to refer you regularly, that's a great opportunity to know more about them. Setting communication preferences is key. Each personality is going to be different. So having that conversation up front, establishing how they want to be contacted, how often they want to be contacted, and what their expectations are. You're going to personalize this approach for each different contact. I did just add to our templates a weekly update for our clients. So that way you can plug in, this is how many showings we had, this is how many views we had online, and this is what's going on with property. And here's my suggestions, whether or not we need to do a price reduction or whatnot. Weekly, you should be interacting with your listing people. Buyers, if they're active right now, every 2 to 3 days, you should be talking to them and letting them know what's going on and what you think that they should be doing, right? They are expecting us to be that. If their expectation is much less, maybe you have a listing that's like, you know what, don't contact me until I have an offer. That's fine too. The hourglass method. Did anyone get this in their email this morning? This was a good one from our Reside training. So the hourglass method is basically starting wide to engage with your conversation with your clients to build that rapport. And we use Ford. Does anyone remember what Ford is? Oh, get in there, Kiki. What is it?
Mute, I mean. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams.
Good job. Yep. So Ford, family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Remember that every time you talk to someone. It helps build the rapport. You're getting to know them. You're getting to know about their family, what they do for work, what they like to do for fun. And then what's their dream? What's their dream home? What's their goal? Maybe their next home is not going to be the dream home, but how are we going to get them to their dream home, right? So starting wide is a wide range of conversation. And then we're going to start to narrow in target questions to uncover their motivations. So why they're moving, priorities of what they need when they move, and then any concerns they have with the move and how are we going to make them feel more comfortable about it. Deepening the connection. So that's when we're getting into that more intense questioning. Address any objections, right? So that might be your commissions, what they're worried about, but provide personalized solutions. The more personalized it is for each specific person, the more they're going to build trust with you and believe that you're truly there for them to help them get where they want to go. Taking action. So encouraging the commitment. So now we're going wider again. Encouraging the commitment for the next steps of the buying and selling process. Okay, what's the price point? What's the location? And let's make a game plan that's going to work for them. Keep it personalized still, so they're still connecting with you. And then broadening again. So maintaining ongoing communication to keep that relationship strong. And even at the end, we want clarity in what's going on with their plan, but also we want clarity that these people are going to love us enough that they're going to provide us future business and referrals, right? We want every single person to end up being a cheerleader in our business because that's how our business goes. Everyone get that? Any questions with that one? So it just helps us create a framework from the conversation and then dive into more of a narrow focus, building the rapport, and then a circle level communication that creates that meaningful action of how to move forward with a strategic game plan for them. Critical communication touch points. Of course, home search updates. This should be sent to them frequently. We all know that we have them on Matrix and send them listings as soon as we know about them. But also, you're going to build a stronger relationship if you know about listings coming before MLS even, right? So having our meetings, really knowing what's coming down the pipeline. I'm part of Top Agent Networks. We're part of Realty Networks on Facebook. So anytime we get those opportunities like, oh, hey, I heard of this property, it's coming up. I'm not exactly sure when, but it sounds like it's going to be perfect for you. Let's stay on top of that one, right? If they know that you're keeping on the ground hunting for them regularly, you're going to build that trust much more. Showing feedback, provide insights right away. Now, we all saw the video last week about the showing feedback, which scared everyone. That was a unique scenario, so don't fear that. Of course, it's a little bit tough. We always want feedback because that's the only way we're going to grow from our listings and the only way to help our sellers as well. But also, you should be providing feedback to listings that you're showing, right? Letting people know if your clients are intrigued and whatnot. But remember, your feedback can be two ways. And that's the issue with that lawsuit one that went on last week, is the matter that the feedback is not your feedback, or it is your feedback, right? Are you giving feedback as a professional and how you would have listed the property, your insights on the property, or are you giving feedback from your client, right? So that scenario was feedback from the client, from the agent, right? And then that client ended up wanting to purchase the property, which is where they ended up in that discrepancy. As a professional, even when we're getting offers, other agents are going to say, this is probably where I would have listed it if it was my listing, and we work with that feedback accordingly. Feedback is the only way for us to help move forward, right? But making sure that you are providing insights to your clients. And again, going back to your initial consultation of how often they want to be contacted. Clear guidance during the preparation is going to allow a better communication result. Inspections and appraisals, findings within hours, right? If you're having an inspection, your sellers want to know what's wrong with the property, buyers want to know what's wrong with the property, how they're going to go about it. Before you do an inspection, you should always have that initial consultation. You know what? We always expect to find things wrong with a home. Our biggest concern is, what are the major things wrong, right? Is the furnace going to go? Does the roof need to be replaced? Is there a water issue? We do not care about simple things like a plug is missing a ground fault, right? Things like that. All homes are going to have issues, but people may not have bought before, or they may not be aware of what a home inspection is going to come up with. So we need to calm that before it happens. That is our job, is to calm that. Closing preparation, reminders of things, automate everything, right? Send them reminders of how this is going to work. We're going to send it off to lawyers for you. Lawyers are going to contact you, all these different unique scenarios. These are the things that could come up, and these are the things that we suggest, right? Again, we are the professionals that they're looking towards, so we need to know these things. The follow-up formula, two-step process. Verbal recap when you're done your meeting, email summary after your meeting, document everything, and always invite feedback if there's anything that they didn't understand, right? Or if there's anything they were missing. But by stepping up that game, right? So at the end of my meeting, you know what? This is what we went over. Is there any other questions that I can help for you? No problem. When I leave that consultation, I'm sending an email so they remember everything we went through and everything I said. And then contacting them next morning after a listing appointment or even a buyer's consultation. Do you need anything reiterated to you? Is there anything you have questions about? And again, documenting everything. Your CRM system should have notes. However you like to do that. I'm like a very point form note. Kiki likes to have full paragraphs in hers, so she's got everything going on. And always invite feedback. Encourage clients to correct anything that they don't understand, even when you're sending the listings, or if they want to change anything in that, that's completely their right. And we want to stay on board and remind them we're a team. We're doing this as a team. Communications, again, regular updates, always staying in contact with your clients and what the next steps are, right? If we have a listing that's really slow and we're not getting action, just preparing them. You know what? Our next step might be a price reduction, but let's wait it out the end of this week and see if we get anything more. Maybe we do an open house before we do the reduction to let people know, hey, just a heads up, we're bringing a reduction on this property. So if it's something you're interested in, I would get your offer in now, right? Build that interest. Agent to agent communication is huge, and it's really missing nowadays. After a showing, call the agent. Call them. What did you think? What'd your clients think? Price point, do you feel good about it, right? Not only does that build a connection with agent to agent, so that helps you for dealings in future, it's getting to know other agents and how they do business too, right? There is nothing better than when an older agent that's more experienced than me calls me and says, hey, what's your opinion on that, right? It makes you feel good. Like, yeah, I do know what I'm doing. And yeah, I'd love to give my opinion. And we should be doing that for the next generation as well. Clear handoffs, updates, keeping people posted. We had another scenario the other day that someone wasn't posted about bringing an offer. So make sure you don't end up in that shit show. We don't want to end up on Rico's board. And then broker communication. If you ever have issues, update your broker, let them know. Compliance, anything like that. That's what brokers are for. We have 3 in our area. They're always available to talk to if you have questions. Communication is key. Daily check-ins, keeping everyone aligned. We obviously have regular meetings on Fridays and Mondays, so we can always communicate together. And if there's any larger issues, we're always happy to help each other, right? Digital communication. Templates are great because it's just a plug and play. If people are texting you, make sure you're responding. In here, we have 1 to 2 hours, but like realistically, you should be responding right away. The more you respond quicker, the better they feel about you as an agent, right? Same business day for emails, calls returned within 3 hours. Again, I suggest right away. Like, I still think 1 to 3 hours is way too long. Our team, when we have leads come in, they're supposed to be responded to within 5 minutes. There's other teams that are within 1 minute. Tracking everything. Track all your touches so you keep your touch points on level that you should be doing, right? Whether they're nurturing clients, whether they're active clients, you need to always have your touch points tracked. Automated reminders, whether that be for yourself or for your clients. I love our system that sends out a reminder of showing. So if people have to cancel, then they've already been sent the reminder and you're not messing up your day, right? Review your histories before you call people. You have lots of notes. You have opportunities to touch base and keep it personable by those notes, right? Templates again, creates consistent messages. So that's why we create a lot of templates within our team. Personalize key details before you send it. Social media approach. Always maintain a professional image. Share market insights. Avoid controversial topics, as we know, things like religion and the government and all those great things out there right now. Of course, our government is quite a topic right now, but remember to be respectful of other people's opinions too, because you don't want to lose clientele because of it. The best way to approach those situations are, how is this government affecting our clients, right? How is it affecting me? That's all people care to want to know. So what does that look like for people buying and selling? Communication that builds your business, balancing professional and personal, right? Really connecting on a professional level, but also on a personal level. When your personality comes through, you're building a genuine connection. So that's great with social media, but also when you're meeting people. I never say to offer up your personal background, but if it connects in a level that you're having a conversation, then that's a great opportunity to connect to people, right? I'm never going to talk about the fact that I have a kid unless someone brings up they're having a baby or whatnot, right? So my personal background stays in the background until it's the right time to actually have that conversation. Also, never taking things personal, right? We're always gonna have scenarios where we get pissed off or a deal doesn't go the right way. We want to tell people off, but we have to keep a professionalism, stay cool through it all. Other agents, same idea, right? The more calm and collective we are through negotiations, the stronger we present a professional role, and people look up to us for that. If someone's flying off the handle, I couldn't tell you how many times I've seen agents fly off the handle and they're doing no business now because they can't keep calm and they don't know how to keep that composure. It's like playing cards, right? We have to keep a poker face through everything we do. If we get hyped up, you're hyping up your client. And now they're not trusting you because you're hired to stay cool, calm, and collective through negotiations, right? So that balance of personal and professional, customizing your approach, adapt your style to for each client. Again, personality training is always key in our industry to make sure you know how to adapt to each type of personality. Great opportunity. And then leverage success stories. You know what? Here is a success story that is similar to what you're looking to do. This is how we did it. Here's our approach, and here's the strategy that we used, right? So that's a great opportunity. Bring those into testimonials, which help attract new clients. If you can get video testimonials from people, that is a fantastic opportunity to show what you do in your business, right? I always say even Kiki's my walking billboard right now. She's doing fabulous from our coaching program and everyone sees that. So it's a great opportunity. Anytime people see somewhere you've succeeded as a professionalism, then they want to know how and what you did. So it's a great opportunity to build more business further on. Okay. Any questions, thoughts?
With those testimonials, I have some clients that are quite a bit older. That they're not going to have a link or a cell phone.
Well, you could go sit with them and do a video.
Okay,
That's a great opportunity.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Anyone else?
When you get a home inspection, do you usually get a copy of it?
Only if there's issues, then I ask them to send it to me so then I can use it as ammo for negotiations.
Okay.
Was this helpful for discussions with your clients? Good. All right. Any other questions? Anything I can help with for this week? All right. Well, we have a little
Oh,
bit.
I have a question. Sorry, I was muted.
That's all right. What's up?
How would you go about, so I have a listing in an area that there are probably 30 other listings and they're nothing moving. Everything is a little overpriced and the So my listing has 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. We're sitting at 650. And the next comparable that has 3 bedrooms, 1.5 bathrooms is at 879.
Cool.
And then there's another one down the road for 939. So my property, I would say, is actually listed accordingly for the area, but everything is sitting, and my sellers are like, what's going on? Like, obviously we've done price reductions. We originally went on the market at 729, and that was in February, and now we're at 650. And my guys are kind of like, we don't want to go anything under that because we have 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, and I agree with them in the area.
Yep.
But like, what do you do? Like, this house is just gonna sit. We've had some sporadic showings. I've asked the agents, and their buyers they like the house. They just don't want to bring an offer. So
so it sounds
I'm at a loss with this one.
yeah, you're going to be the first one to sell. It sounds like it's just, we got to get the buyer there, right?
Yeah.
So when you did the price reduction, did you just reduce the price or did you do a whole new listing?
Whole new listing.
Okay.
Took it off. I did all new marketing. I did stage it as well because it's now vacant.
Perfect.
I've literally I was like, okay, I've done everything. I've door knocked the neighborhood. I'm holding open houses. I'm holding agent opens. Everybody says, we're priced around 650, which is great. Like, it's a really great value for the house. It's just, I can't get a buyer.
How long has it been listed?
At 650, we just went back on the market this week, but 729 we listed in February, and then we dropped to 699 and 675.
And how long's the average house taken to sell around there?
I'd say about 70 days.
Yeah. So yeah, we're I just reiterate to my clients that, you know what, we're back to a normal market, that it is taking from 60 to 90 days, especially those higher price points. You are obviously going to be the first one to sell when someone actually comes to that area because you are the best price and the biggest house and everything else, right? You're doing everything right, but it is a matter of waiting it out. So it's just always calming down that client. I could understand if everything around there was selling and then them panicking, but it's not. And
that's what I said to them. I said we would be having a lot different of a conversation if everything else was selling, but literally nothing is selling other than the oddball house. Like, one did just sell, but it was listed at 419 and it sold for 460.
Yeah.
So it's like those little one-offs, but once you get up above that 500 mark, everything is sitting.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's just the conversation. I had the same conversation actually this morning. I have a condo and there's like 5 of them. And I'm like, if anything else was selling before us, then we'd have a different conversation. Like, exactly. So, but it is a matter that you are doing everything you can and staying in contact, right? That's their key, is they just want to know what's going on. And if nothing's going on, great, but just let them know, you know what, I just want to update you. Nothing's still moving. So it's not just you, it's everyone in the area. We just have to hold tight. But always it's going to be the point where they're like, oh, well, let's take it off. You never want to take it off because it could be that day, right?
Right. Yeah. And they've been really great. Like, they've listened to my suggestions of coming off the market for a couple weeks and listing with the price reduction. So hopefully, it just went back on 2 days ago, and we're having, our back-to-back open houses the first weekend this weekend. So I was like, is there anything else I can be doing? I feel like I should be doing more, but I can't think of anything else, right? I don't know. So.
Yep. No, I think you're doing everything right. Don't overthink it. You are doing everything right. And just remind yourself, sometimes it is just the market and you just got to keep that contact with clients. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thanks for it.
Yeah. Anyone else? Also, send the link of that so we can share it this way and maybe we can help on our side.
Okay, I'll post it in the Facebook group.
Perfect. Anyone else need any help? Anything else you want to comment on? Things we can help with? All right. Well, everyone have a fantastic Friday, and let's go sell some houses. Bye.
Have a good day, everyone.